Greetings and salutations, everyone. I am Obsidian Vale, and today I'm going to reveal my Ungoth Confessions. I am not being tagged in this. I don't believe in doing tags. If you want to do a video, just go ahead and do it. My Ungoth Confessions. Probably quite a few. Some of them stand out a lot more than others. So let's see if you can guess my first confession. I'm going to just start showing you things. We're going for a theme here, so pumpkin spice. Basically pumpkin spice, pumpkin caramel cheesecake latte. More pumpkin spice. Yeah, more pumpkin spice. So you can tell that my first Ungoth confession is that I like pumpkin spice. So I also have pumpkin spice muffin, pumpkin spice bread. That's another one. That's my first Ungoth confession. I like pumpkin spice. I know people meme about it and make jokes about it and are like, oh, pumpkin spice, that's for like basic girls, chica basica. So yeah, I'm like, no, I love it. I was on that bandwagon like a while ago, like years ago. I'm just like, I would never like pumpkin spice. Since I'm open-minded and I like trying new things, I ended up trying pumpkin spice. I don't know where I started at. I think it was with coffee. And then I said, okay, so I like the coffee, so what if the candles and stuff are just as good? And they're all good. Like there's several of them that are really good, and I loved it. So I just have been kind of addicted. I know like this other YouTuber called Meat Canyon has made a video about that, and they're like, do you still pumpkin spice?
Yeah. Is pumpkin spice back on the menu?
I don't know if other goth people have said anything about this, but I can tell you, like, I at least saw one said they like pumpkin spice. And it's not too unusual to like fall stuff for goth people, so it just seems like a lot of more common type of women kind of like this stuff. But yeah, I love pumpkin spice. No one's gonna tell me otherwise. I am absolutely gonna love that no matter what, even if it's associated with someone who's basic. Okay, so the second thing is I absolutely love goth music. Goth music is at my top music genres, and metal. I like those the most. Occasionally rock as well, which falls under the category with rock and metal are kind of like different categories of similar things. And my thing is like more than just goth music. And I know there's nowadays is not a big deal if you feel like this, but I feel like as a gothic color that when you like something like hip hop or rap, the people think you're a stereotype. And I do enjoy some hip hop and rap. When you like stuff like that, they're like, "Are you sure you're goth?" Or, "You sure you're just not like another stereotype?" And for a while, I'm gonna be honest, when I was a baby bat, it kind of made me like not ashamed exactly, but like I kind of hid that part of myself because I was trying to fit in. But no, I don't care about that anymore. I always listen to that stuff. I like Latin music, folk music. I don't really care for country, though there are a couple of good ones here and there maybe. I like bluegrass. No one would expect that. I am definitely a country goth at heart. I'm a nature goth at heart. A lot of people think I'm more into the city type of thing, but I like the city, but that's not where my heart is. My heart is in like nature and the country. I like different types of electronic music that aren't considered goth. Like I know there are electronic music, like industrial music is considered goth depending on who you ask. And I prefer different types of music, especially like when I'm working out or cleaning or whatever. But most of the time, you will hear me listening to goth music. So if that, I mean, some people will say if you listen to that stuff, you're a poser. But honestly, if you listen to goth music and other things, it just makes you a normal person to me. So, no, not in a bad way, but like you will mostly hear me listening to goth music. Occasionally, like in my TikToks and stuff like that, you will hear other types of music as well. So, I also wanted to mention my third thing. My third thing is dancing, and you're probably thinking, like, okay, dancing. Dancing's not a big deal. Dancing is normal, you know, but it's the types of dances that I like that aren't considered like gothic. So I like ballroom dancing, and when I think ballroom dancing, I think of Morticia and Gomez and how they did ballroom dancing, like tango, and it's just romantic and gothic. But I enjoy that type of ballroom dancing. I like salsa, merengue, bachata. There's all types of dances that I like, and but I also enjoy other things like headbanging is kind of common with some goths if they like metal. I don't know if that really counts as a dance. Could be. I like different types of dances, like twerking. That's not very common. Maybe more so now, but like it's still seen as vulgar, but it is part of my ancestry, the culture that I'm a part of, and I like twerking. I mean, I'm a thick goth, so it's not really. No one's complaining about that one. Okay, so I like belly dancing. That's a crossover too as well. There are several people who mix like metal and the goth aesthetic with belly dancing, and I think that's pretty obvious from my past videos where I've done belly dancing. Another ungoth confession for me is that I occasionally will like pastels. But Debbie, pastels?
Pastels?
Why? No, seriously, I don't really like pastel colors. Like, I will freak out if I go into a room that has nothing but pastels. That will freak me out. Like Morticia would be. But, like, if it's contrasting against, like, black, I like it a little bit in, like, really small doses. Like, it can't be a lot. There has been a photo shoot where I've done, I don't know if white counts as pastel, but it's up there, you know. Photo shoots that I've done where it's all white, and obviously I have white in my hair right now, and I just like the contrast of it, and I don't really I wouldn't really just wear it normally unless it was spooky. There are some people who use pastels as a spooky aesthetic, and I really like that. I don't know if I can do something like that all the time. Just imagining washing that type of stuff is just a nightmare to me. I like all my clothes dark and black. Not really see anything pastel in my wardrobe that I can think of. Like, unless it's like a small accessory or maybe like a temporary hair color, you know, just to mix things up. But other than that, no, not really. You won't see that in my wardrobe. That all white photo shoot that I did years ago was fun, but that's not something I would do often because just like, all that white was just kind of weird. But it was like in a spooky aesthetic thing. I love the Rococo era. Like, I like the Victorian and Rococo really a lot. And like, I wish it was a gothic Rococo type of aesthetic, which is something more I go with, like Rococo, but also spooky. But like, that's more what I'm interested. So, like, people think goth, they think all black, and there's a name for it. Perky goth. I think I've heard that pastel goth, and a lot of people are saying that that's not goth, but I think that's a type of goth, and it's cute for people who do it, but you can do spooky and light colors. I'm more of someone who likes all black or contrasting black. I have to have black in it no matter what, or that type of contrast. I don't think I would do a pastel hair color, just only pastels. Like, it probably would drive me crazy after a while, and I'd take it out. So I never really did like a whole pastel hair color, but I've seen some goth people do it, and actually looks good in contrast. Because I know when I started out as a baby bat, like, everyone wanted to dye their hair black. I've seen a more of a variation of hair colors and stuff like that later on being a goth. My last ungoth confession is I love the goth aesthetic. Like, absolutely. I love accessories, makeup, everything. But I don't know how many goths feel like this. Being goth, for some of us, is a sensory nightmare. I'm just gonna say that. I don't know if anyone's ever talked about this before, but okay, so I love like looking like I do. I like the black lipstick and the makeup and everything. But there's certain makeup and clothing that I can't stand. Like black lipstick, it has to be smudge proof because seeing black lipstick get on my teeth or on like my hand or my skin or something like that drives me nuts. I hate that. I hate that so much. It's a horrible nightmare for me to find a really good eyeliner that sticks and is dark enough for my eyes because I have more of a brown skin tone. Well, a mixture of brown, olive, maybe orange, earthy undertones, I guess. I really hate trying to find eyeliner that sticks out really well, like someone with paler skin. And I can't imagine how much more difficult it is when your skin is darker. Though I do like white eyeliner too, and like white eyeshadow just for the contrast. But like finding black products that show up as black and not gray on my skin tone is horrible. I hate it so much. I experiment so much with that, and I ask other goths what they do, what they get to, and these things are really nice that they offer me, but sometimes these things are expensive. That's another thing. A lot of the stuff is expensive because if you cheap out on goth makeup, unfortunately, it's gonna look cheap. What other things about goth makeup I don't like? Okay, so goth girls and guys too love putting on falsies. And they look really good with that. I just couldn't do it. I have falsies on now, and you can't really tell, and that's the most I can do because I absolutely hate falsies. I feel like they weigh down my eyes, and I'm just naming everything that goth people use that I just can't stand it. White foundation. I've seen some black goths do it and contour it and make it look really good. I'm not saying it's off the table for me like forever, but I'm gonna say right now I do not like white foundation, and I do believe that if I were even a lighter skin tone, I probably wouldn't like it too much anyway. Um, I think if I wanted to get a lighter foundation, I just go a couple of shades lighter than what I have. I really like my foundation to match my skin tone. So that's kind of ungoth, I guess, but I just don't like it. So if I had pale skin or someone had pale skin and they got pale foundation, that just makes sense to me. But like personally, I don't even like that. I don't like the white face in general. It just, I know that's really common with the goth thing, and this is just particular to me. The straight black goth hair. I know that's common with more of the non people of color, and people who have straighter hair. They do the part down in the middle like Morticia and have straight black hair. And I'm not saying it doesn't look good on me. I just don't like straight hair. That's just me. So that's why I like in most of my stuff that you will see like braids, somewhat braids like this one, or locks or something like that. I tend to lean more towards African aesthetics too. A lot of the time, I love African aesthetic and I love incorporating it with the goth aesthetic, and I that's something that I like. But that's not too uncommon. They call that tribal goth now, but like I just like different things like that. And I like a lot of clothes that aren't considered like inherently goth. Like you would see me wearing like traditional clothes, um, different types of styles that aren't typically goth. Like this shirt I'm wearing is not necessarily goth exactly, but it's got like a very romantic type goth type of feel to it, and that's the kind of stuff I like. Whereas I do get some of the stuff people see as traditionally goth, like corsets and just, the whole outfit looks goth, and lace and fishnets. I love that. Sensory Nightmare doesn't apply to fishnets to me. I love them, but if I had like nipple piercings, I would hate them. So another thing would be corsets. I love the way they look. Cheaply made corsets. I would say cheaply made because I like a good made corset. Like it feels very comfortable and it helps with posture, so it has benefits. But like cheaply made corsets, like that bend and don't like stay straight. I don't like those as well. So I guess that's the most ungoth thing about me is that I don't always buy gothic clothes. I don't always like gothic makeup. I think I think a lot of gothic things are sensory nightmares. More for me, like certain styles and stuff like that, certain makeup. I will never give up the black lipstick. I love it. So I do always have to have a good black lipstick. So I don't know if this counts as ungoth since it's makeup, but it's still makeup. I like brown color lips. Like I think because I think it complements my skin tone, but I don't think that's one that's very common. I like things that go with my skin tone. I don't like looking gray or pale. That's probably a big non-goth thing for me. So, I mean, there are other things, just makeup and stuff in general, that I see a lot of goth people do. I'm trying to think of it in my head. Oh, the bird's nest hair from Try Goth. I try to do something similar to that. I really don't like it, and I actually don't think I really need to do it because I have curly hair, so I it just could be close to that anyway if I wanted to. It'd be really easy. But like I think it's the bird nest hair is kind of an imitation of the fro, and I do really like seeing the black goths with the hair fro. So I know back when I started being goth that some people would have said that was not a goth thing, and it totally is a goth thing. So that's all I have for today. And what are your ungoth confessions if you're goth? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.